なき可愛いだけど思わないでよねこれからの前にさまもつけて
止まらないのこのドキドキあと3秒始まるよショータイム溢れる気持ちをさえ違う Right now スポットライト集まるそこは a galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail never gonna stop and tell me are you ready let's go We're gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We're gonna show ya make them explode ya Turn it up and make it roll Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah yeah どこまでも続いていくと信じたあの日よどまないギャラクシー輝いていて伸ばした手を見とってくれたあの日 Let's go いつでも準備 OK 空腕を見とばした腕
I'm a girl with seven
空に見せられたスターライト手を引いて高みへグッバイここから連れ出して Please あなたは Son of a Galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail never gonna stop now Tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high Lose your mind, yeah, yeah, yeah We gonna show ya, make them explode, yeah Turn it up and make it roll Baby rising high, yeah, yeah, yeah Lose your mind, yeah, yeah, yeah
止まれないおしさ離れない可愛いだけど思わないでよねこれからの前にさまもつけて
止まらないのこのドキドキあと3秒始まるよショータイム溢れる気持ちをさえ違う Right now スポットライト集まるそこは a galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail never gonna stop and tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We gonna show ya make them explode ya Turn it up and make it roll Baby rising high
勝負にしようぜ I'm a girl boss I'm a girl
空に見せられたスターは手を引いて高みへグッバイここから連れ出して Please あなたは Son of a Galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail Never gonna stop now Tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We gonna show ya make them explode yeah Turn it up and make it blow Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah yeah yeah
止まれないおしさタイム離れない可愛いだけど思わないでよねこれからの前にさまもつけて
止まらないのこのドキドキあと3秒始まるよショータイム溢れる気持ちをされ違う Right now スポットライト集まる Song of a Galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail Never gonna stop now Tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We gonna show ya make them explode ya Turn it up and make it blow Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah yeah どこまでも続いていくと信じたあの日よどらないギャラクシー輝いて飛ばしそうな高み通ってくれたあの日 Let's go いつでも準備 OK 空見飛ばして
Here comes out of the rain Oh my face what did I say Back up the A's That's up in the eyes and face Can handle this and ask the mirror Is it you or me? I'm ready to show and shield Yeah I'm a girl boss I'm a girl
空に見せられたスターは手を引いて高みへグッバイここから連れ出して Please あなたは Son of a Galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail Never gonna stop now Tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We gonna show ya make them explode yeah Turn it up and make it blow Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah yeah yeah
止まれないおしさタイム離れない可愛いだけど思わないでよねこれからの前にさまもつけて
止まらないのこのドキドキあと3秒始まるよショータイム溢れる気持ちをされ違う Right now スポットライト集まる Song of a Galaxy Going higher and I'm never gonna fail Never gonna stop now Tell me are you ready let's go We gonna show ya we gonna do ya Light it up and set your heart on fire Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind yeah 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 We gonna show ya make them explode yeah Turn it up and make it blow Baby rising high yeah 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 Lose your mind
ないあこななあらあこななやっほーやっほーみんなおやっほーみんなやっほーMy name is Nana Artsteria. I am a Song of the Galaxy reincarnated to Vtuber V singer, and today we have the grand battle of the husbandos. I would like to rate all of my favorite, well, not all of that, I feel like I'm gonna miss some, anime husbandos today. It shall be the battle of the husbandos to see whomst is the best husbando of all. What? こんなのですみんな Three hands, no, you didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. Today we have some contestants, as you can see on the bottom here. This is not inclusive of everybody. I definitely missed some people. But it's been a while since I've watched the anime, so I don't know. It's been a while. So I'd like to explain to you why have I decided to expose my ass now and to expose who makes me people shy, and that is because yesterday we were having a conversation at the end of the Genshin stream, and we were talking about all my anime husbandos, and I was like, yo, I should do a tier list. So here I am. I just want to say I'm happy that you don't have Aruto from Frontier on the list. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but I hate Aruto-kun. Oh my gosh, I hate him. He's so annoying. My guy cannot make up his mind, and he has anger issues and communication issues, and he's so annoying. おはよう、ナナちゃん from Indonesia. アーツァさん、こんななです。Thank God I don't see Kirito there. No, bro, Kirito as well. I'm so sorry. He's so annoying. I cannot simp. We all hate him. Literally. I'm so glad you share my sentiment. I'm so glad you share my sentiment. I love Cheryl. I hate Aruto. Tokuro. He's so annoying. I keep having dreams when my Oshi's still alive. I will cherish them until I wake up. Huh? If you're talking about me, I'm alive! Oh my gosh, Fee, hi! Oh my gosh, Fee, hello! Yeah, no, I hate Aruto-kun from Frontier. Oh my gosh, every time I watch this series, he makes me so infuriated. It's the anger issues and lack of communication for me. Anyways, chat. So let's talk quickly about the judging criteria. So as we all know, I would much rather be self-insert. Anyway, sorry. Chat. Let me talk about the criteria for the judging, okay? So as we know, all human beings aren't perfect. Everybody has some flaws, and everybody has some some pros and some good things about them. So we're gonna play a game of red flags and green flags, yeah? We're gonna see how many red flags they have and how many green flags they have, okay? And we're gonna consider them holistically. We'll try to consider them holistically. So we'll try consider them holistically. Yes. No worries, Fee. Good luck. Anyways, so about the judgment criteria, right? So I'm gonna talk about who they are, what show they're from, and what their personality is like, what their relationship is like, I guess, to everybody else in the story, what are their hobbies, what is their occupation, what are their toxic habits, if they have any red flags. Is bed against the wall a red flag? Like a mattress? Or like the bed just being near the wall? What do you mean? God, hello! No, SST, interesting. Well, no, it's because I just got the basic tier list template. Like I didn't bother to customize like a SSS tier, template. I just got a basic tier list template. Anyways. So. I'm so excited to start. Alright. So how about let's start from the bottom row? Yeah, let's start from the bottom row. So here we have my tomato baby meow meow Diluc Ragvander. Okay, let's start with Diluc. Yeah, let's start with Diluc. Okay. So, chat, I feel like a lot of you guys already know Diluc because I talk about Diluc so much, and I always like talk about Diluc during Genshin streams and stuff. Bet against the wall is a red flag for Haewon. It's not a red flag for me. I don't know what it looks like. Anyways, so Diluc is the richest man in all of Mondstadt. He comes from a noble family. He is basically the unofficial king of Mondstadt, which is the country he lives in. He runs a winery, and the winery earns him a huge amount of money because Mondstadt as a country loves alcohol. So he is stupidly rich, rolling in money. But he used to be a part of the Knights of Favonius. It was his dad's dream to have him to become a knight. And so as a kid, Diluc was very passionate, hardworking, sunshine, cheerful boy who would always listen to his parents, his dad, and would always be hardworking and an excellent young man, right? So he was like, a very kind and earnest person. However, one day tragedy struck. He's also Batman. However, one day tragedy struck when his dad was killed by his dad was attacked by a monster, and his dad was, murdered, was killed. Yeah, it was this very tragic event. A series of things happened, but he got really angry at his brother. They had a fight. Diluc saw his dad get murdered before his eyes by the evil organization, and he found out the Knights of Favonius were corrupt, and they had a part in this. So he rejected the Knights. He lost faith in the world, in the Knights, and he lost faith in structural justice. He became an anti-establishment Batman, basically. He became a vigilante. He traveled the world for 7 years, and he is now a everybody just thinks he's a really cold-hearted, mean person that's just unapproachable. Okay, so red flag number 1 is like really toxic coping mechanisms. So red flag number 1 is that, when he faces troubles, he doesn't try to rely on anybody, but instead he runs away from his problems and tries to rely on himself. That's a red flag, number 1. Red flag number 2 is that I guess he is also quite proud and struggles to forgive people. He struggles to forgive people and is very proud. Even now, he hasn't made up with his brother. Gucci! Hi! Oh my gosh! Hi, Gucci! Hello! How are you doing, bro? We are talking about Diluc. We're talking about Diluc from Genshin. He is husband number 1. Is that homie Daichi from Haikyuu? Yes! We'll get onto him. Okay. We'll get onto him. Okay. And Kuroo, sheesh. Okay, we'll get it. Okay, I promise you we'll get it. So violence is his coping mechanism. Yes. So red flag number 1 is that he deals with his problems by himself instead of relying on anybody. Red flag number 2 is that he doesn't forgive people easily and is very proud. Red flag number 3 is that he breaks the law and uses violence and I guess asserts his own form of justice, which can be low-key mentally very unstable, I think those would be the 3 biggest red flags. However, I know he sounds bad, but listen, chat. I can fix him. Okay, because deep down, we all know that Diluc is a kind man. We know Diluc is very kind. He kept all the brothers that Kaya, his brother, sent him during the 7 years he was traveling. And one time, when he was still a knight, Klee destroyed his entire vineyard with her explosions, and instead of getting mad at her, he gave her grape juice and escorted her back home. And people are always saying mean things about him, like, oh, it's Diluc's fault. You know, he's so mean. He's such a cranky grown-up. But, you know, he never blamed anybody. And instead, you know, he just tries to better himself. Are we judging you on this very strictly? Is the third really that bad though? What about the Academy of his horrible laws? So true. But you know, deep down we know he's very caring, he's very gentle, and he's very kind. He's just misunderstood. No, listen. Just Diggs, listen. I can fix him. Just Diggs, listen. I wouldn't consider his vigilantism too destructive. Exactly, the Knights of Favonius approved of him and they didn't try to stop him anymore, right? And Diluc never uses his money for like wrong things, right? And he doesn't really care about it either, so he's not materialistic. He is somebody who genuinely, I guess, appreciates the kindness in people and tries to reciprocate that. But I feel like something that's really sad about him is that he's always trying to atone, and he's always trying to, like, I guess, be enough, right? But yeah, I can fix him. You can't get mad at Klee. She's cute. So true. Isn't it mostly a front? He does interact with Kari a lot, so obviously he doesn't hate him. He also works a lot with Jin and even Lisa. Yeah, it's because he has communication struggles, bro. He struggles to communicate his feelings because he's a depressed man. But with all that being said, I am struggling between S and A. You know what? I'll put him at an A for now because red flags such as, you know, like not relying on other people, being self-destructive, not forgiving people easily, being really proud, resorting to vigilantism, breaking the law, being violent, all of that is dangerous. So you're just one mark away from being S tier, my baby. It's okay, I still love you. Okay. I came to the stream and I heard I can fix him. I guess that's the thing. Listen, jetpacks. I can fix him. He just needs to get trust again. Let the past go. Exactly. He just needs to go with me to a therapist. Even better, a psychologist, you know? Baby, we can talk this out. We can talk about our big feelings. So what do we say when we're feeling really, really angry and really upset at the world? I can pick some famous last words. So why S when he has 3 red flags? Yeah, I'm sorry. He's not an S. No. Unfortunately, but I still love you. Now you got eyes on the money, low-key, but the money though. No, listen. The money is like a good thing. Yeah, like it definitely is a benefit. But, you know, for Diluc, I think I would still find him adorable, even if he wasn't a rich man. Yes. You can't fix him. If you have a vision, you can probably handle it. Handle what? Yes. But anyways, my meow meow goes here. Anyways, on to the next character. Kakashi sensei. Kakashi wa ne? So I used to have a big crush on Kakashi sensei from Naruto. I don't know, just because he was like very like charming, you know, very suave, very charming. And like at the beginning, you're like, ugh, who is this disgusting old man who reads like porn in daytime, right? But if you like, you know, peer deeper into his character, he's somebody who thinks a lot, especially about the safety of his students, and well, he's essentially a teacher that teaches, I guess, ninjas, right? And he is like a full-time ninja as well at the Leaf Village. And he is very, very strong, very hardworking. And his backstory is really sad too. Essentially, like, his best friend and his crush died. Well, his best friend killed his crush, essentially. And he has a lot of trust issues as well, which makes it very difficult for him to open up with people, which is, metaphorically symbolized in his mask as well, and never shows anyone his face because of his trust issues. But so his red flags would be trust issues. I don't think that's a red flag though, actually. I don't think that's a red flag. I think his red flag would probably be reading porn in front of children. Not a good idea. Encouraging children to also commit very weird sexual actions. Very weird. Number 2, I think would be his coping mechanisms. To cope with his trauma and stuff, he just goes around flirting with women. He just goes around flirting with women and just kind of lives life quite carelessly. He has no concern for his personal well-being, right? And that kind of is a red flag. Like, I can't blame him for that, but that is something that I should be concerned about, Because when you live life carelessly and you go around flirting with women, the chances that your husband would cheat on you is very high. So Kakashi, the chances of him cheating on me, extremely high. So big red flag. So all that being said though, despite him being very, very nice and very caring and deep down a very compassionate person who would do anything to protect his beloved, I would still put him at a B. Yes, Naruto was sus at the start, let's be real. He's oh my gosh, Richie, you should rename the stream to he's problematic, but he does what he wants. He really does. He's also really funny. True. He is hilarious. He is hilarious. He's gonna be like retribution at therapy and destroy everything. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Hinata, welcome. Anyways, so yeah. I just really don't like the fact that he encourages children to do really suspicious, sexual actions. I think that's a little bit weird, champ, especially reading, a porn in front of, 10-year-olds. That is really inappropriate. So, you stay to be. Anyways, I can fix him. Sorry, anyways. Moving on. I think it's more appropriate to go into the next Naruto character, just because, we just did Naruto. So, I may as well do the next Naruto character. The next Naruto character is Sasuke Uchiha. Oh boy, I feel like chat has a lot to say about this character because I certainly do. I already have a lot to say about this character. Oh my goodness. サスケはね, I feel like a lot of people already know who he is, so I'll just explain it briefly. Sasuke is a ninja at the Leaf Village as well. However, due to a traumatic event where his brother ended up killing his entire family, he became low-key psycho, and he became twisted and distrustful of the world and extremely hurt, in pain all the time, has a lot of anger issues, has a lot of brother issues, has a lot of family issues, and his entire life is dedicated towards revenge. His whole purpose of living and existing is for revenge. Yes. Wait, speaking of Kakashi's reading, in Boruto was like, wow, Dad's teacher Jiraiya wrote a book. I gotta read it. It must be a great adventure novel. No! Boruto, please. Anyways, so the reason why I guess I like Sasuke Uchiha, as a kid, I feel like now I don't really like Sasuke. I think he just has a lot of anger issues, and I think he's just really, really proud. But as a kid, the reason why I guess I like Sasuke is I was like, wow, he's so confident in his own skills, and he's so determined, and he's very driven, And I guess those are all qualities. However, the purpose for him being driven is very toxic. He essentially becomes a wanted criminal, and he goes around causing havoc, and he hurts a lot of people. He hurts Sakura and Naruto so many times. I don't think he's ever apologized truly for it. So now, I wouldn't say I like Sasuke Uchiha, but I think as a kid I did because I was like, wow, you know, so driven, he's so motivated, and he's so confident in his own skills, and he's good at his own skills. So I was like, wow, kono ikemen nice. Like I can understand where Sasuke's coming from, right? Because it's not his fault. It's not his fault that he has all these issues. Instead, it's Itachi's fault, right? And no kid should ever go through what he has gone through. However, there's still red flags. Red flags are red flags. His green flags are very little. Very few. Bad person, bad brother, bad friend, even worse, father. Bad! So true, chat. In case you don't know, so Sasuke canonically is a dad now. He has his daughter. He had a daughter with Sakura. And even canonically, he sucks as a dad. And I was right. He has very few green flags and his red flags are too many. So I will put you in D. I'm sorry, Sasuke. You're just not a good husbando. Bam! Bam! Okay. Yes? You agreed with Sakura. You just thought he was cool. Yeah! Exactly. I feel like Sakura would have realized that into her marriage. That she was really unhappy. I feel like Sakura would have realized, she did canonically realize this. She did express how she was discontent and she missed Sasuke and like he was never home. But yeah, I feel actually really bad for Sakura because he is not a good father. He is not a good husband. Yeah, so I'll put you at D, Sasuke. I'm sorry. I just do not vibe with you anymore. You're not a good husbando. Yosh. それではね on to the next one. You may be wondering who this caterpillar bug looking ass thing is. You may be wondering who this bug is. Well, let me introduce to you Ma Meow Meow, Aizawa Sensei from Boku no Hero Academia. Yes. Out of all the husbandos you choose, who do you think can sing Golden Hour? Oh, absolutely Diluc, and absolutely Sinbad, and absolutely Sebastian, absolutely Tomoe, absolutely Huck. Well, whatever, I'll say later. Otoya as well. Anyways, a lot of these guys can sing. Anyway, sorry. Back to Aizawa Sensei. Sakura deserved better. She should have ended with Rock Lee. Yeah. So true. I agree. Anyways, for this bug, let me explain to you why I love this bug. So. I love this bug. His name is Aizawa Shota. He is the teacher of class 1A of My Hero Academia. He is the homeroom teacher and he also used to be a student of My Hero Academia. So his personality is very strict, very stern on his students. However, it is out of fear of them dying. He has seen too many students die and he wants for them to stay alive. However, he as a teacher is very empathetic and very, very, very responsible. He is the complete opposite of Kakashi Sensei. He is so responsible. He always puts his kids' interests first. He would always consider what would make my kids happiest and most safe. Even during villain attacks, he would sacrifice himself to the point where he has concussions or broken arm just so his kids can get to safety, and he would never do anything inappropriate, and he is always so professional and so kind. And we peer a little bit into like his like background as well later on. Good night, Annie! No worries. Oh my gosh, stay warm, baby. Good night. Thank you for coming. But anyways, you did my man's dirty. Kakashi or Aizawa, which one? Because Kakashi is an inappropriate teacher, right? He literally reads porn in front of 10-year-olds. Anyways, like he's a good teacher, he's skilled, but a bit weird. Anyways, so Aizawa would never do that, okay? My man just likes cats and good food, and that's it, right? And the thing is, I love the fact that he does not care what other people think. He goes around in a sleeping bag. Do you see what this is? It's a sleeping bag. He rocks up to class in a sleeping bag. You know, self-care. A self-care king. And so, like, we peer a little bit into his past as well. Essentially, he had two best friends during his time as a student at My Hero Academia. And this is spoilers, right, chat? This is spoilers. But something essentially happened to one of his best friends. And to this day, he still feels like he wants to make his friend's dream come true, even if his friend is unable to fulfill it. And so he is a man of great honesty, duty, responsibility, care, courage, and compassion, despite looking like this. And so, I would personally... Wait, does he have any red flags? Sorry. I was like praising him so much. Does he have any red flags? His only red flags is probably like... I think his red flag is probably like... Damn, what is Aizawa's red flags? I guess like his red flags would be like... He can be a bit too harsh sometimes. He can be a bit too strict sometimes. But I feel like all people have their flaws. It's not necessarily a red flag. Jason, konana! Yeah. Yes. So, does he have any red flags? I guess it's like, I guess it's like, he literally doesn't have overprotective. I can see that. Yeah. I can see how that would manifest. Yeah. Because of like, trauma and like trust issues and stuff. So like overprotective, I guess. Yeah. And I wouldn't even consider that as like a red flag. Yeah. Just finally someone with no real red flags, just normal flaws. I know, right? He's an S for me. Let's go. Our first S, baby. Chat, our first S. Let's go. Excessive, the whole expulsion thing. Oh, I agree. That was like really excessive and that was really stern and harsh and mean, right? I also agree that was a bit much. However, his pros outweigh the cons. I do think his pros outweigh the cons. Yes. Like a red flag is a sign that a relationship is doomed to fail. Yeah. Whereas for him, if he was in an actual relationship, just kidding. On second thought, I don't think he is the best at communication. If he had a wife, I believe the wife would genuinely be worried a lot of the times. Okay, chat, I just want you to imagine this. If Aizawa sensei had a wife, I feel like the wife would treat him very well. But I feel like Aizawa sensei, with his low self-confidence, would oftentimes feel like he's lacking. Because he's always trying to step up into, I guess, always just trying to be better, which is not a bad thing, but I feel like he has very low self-confidence. And I feel like he wouldn't be able to communicate his feelings a lot. And I feel like when he's angry, he would probably just stonewall and shut down instead of actually properly communicating. That's just like a gut feeling I have, especially with the whole expulsion thing, like Prem said. He never communicated why this is important. He never explained to the children so they could understand. And I feel like those standards can be seen as a bit too high, right? So, on second thought, communication is a really big issue, right? So on second thought, probably not an S, but an A. An A for sure. For sure. Bad communication is not good. Absolutely. I feel like, yeah, because Aizawa is someone who tries to carry the burden of everything on himself, which is a very noble thing to do. But when you're mentally unstable, or you have anxiety, or you have trauma from fighting villains, you need to have good communication with your spouse for both of you guys to feel safe. You know? Yeah. That can be worked on, to be fair. Yeah, it can be worked on, absolutely. But you know, it's still a definitely like a red flag. Cause like I understand no human is perfect, right? But the S tier is saved for those who are literally perfect. There are some people who are so damn close to being perfect, and they are in here. I can promise you they are in here. Anyways. On to the next character! Vaiba-san, こんなの Yes. Yami. From Black Clover. 100% would cheat on me. Would not be a good husband. But is very handsome. 100% would be a horrible husband. Would not be faithful. Would absolutely cheat on your ass and probably do it in front of you and tell you about it. Would probably tell you about it too. Yami はね、Yami はねBut I can fix it! No, honestly, I don't even think I can fix him. Honestly, I genuinely do not think I can fix this man. How do I even explain? So Yami is the captain of the Black Bulls. I believe that's what it's called. So he's a captain of a guild of, I guess, magic users in this kingdom of Black Clover, and the Clover Kingdom, and he is the captain. He is the strongest, one of the strongest men in the entire kingdom. He is so unbelievably strong that you cannot help but admire this man. Not to mention, he is insanely muscular, very buff, slay. Tasukaru. So insanely handsome and very charming. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not even on purpose. He's very, very charming. And he is his EQ is very, very high. So Yami-san, sometimes he can be a bit oblivious to I guess his guild members needs, right? But when time calls for it, when they're in a middle of a fight, or when someone's going through a rough time, his EQ can be very high and he'll be very comforting and very caring. However, he is also someone who would not do the chores, not do the dishes, not do the laundry, probably go "Oi, woman, you do it." Probably would be "Oi, woman, go make me a sandwich." Would not help at all. Probably would say, "I fight every day at the guild to bring home money. What do you do?" Would probably say something like that. And he would be a great father though. I can see that. I can see how he would be a really, really good father, because he does have a soft spot for children. He does have a soft spot for looking after them. And he would care for his children a lot, but I feel like he would be very absent because he's so busy all the time. I feel like he would unintentionally be neglectful because of things he doesn't do chores. He wouldn't do any of that. I feel like he would unintentionally be really absent. Just because of work and stuff, just because of wars and whatever, and fights and fighting evil or whatever. Yes. Yeah. Oi, woman trying to burn down the house and making dinner this time. Yeah, say something like that. Yeah, a great father does the dishes. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. See, I think he would care for his children and wife when it's convenient for him. Do you see what I mean? He would care for them and he would love for them only when it's convenient. And when it's not convenient for him, he would stonewall, he would ghost, and he would just leave without saying a word. And he'll be like, "Oh yeah, honey, I'll be back in 2 days." And then he'll be gone for a week. "Oh yeah, honey, I just gotta pop out. The guild wants me." And we'll be gone for a month. Kind of like Sasuke. The only thing he's buying is the milk, for real, and never coming back. Yeah. So while he is insanely handsome, would not be a good husband. Yes. Yes. Anyways, on to the next character. So the next character is Ace. Is Ace. Yes. It's not like a normal life. Nowadays, kids have both parents working a lot anyways. Like, that's true, right? However, like, you know, in those cases, you would assume that the mother and father had an even split of like work and stuff, right? Whereas I feel like for Yami, he would not even communicate that, and he would just have a lot of expectations on people and would only look after people when it's convenient for him. Whereas what is expected in a good family relationship is to, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you don't want to, you still have to be patient and gentle and caring as a parent, and you still have to provide for your children's needs. Right? So even if your parents work a lot and stuff, the expectation is that they would still come home, still make dinner, still, you know, teach you life skills, and still do these things even when they're tired and even when they're busy. That's the expectation. Yami would not do that. Easy S for me, no explanation. He's just an S. Okay, for the guys that haven't watched One Piece yet, I need to explain to you who this man is. So his name is Portuguese D. Ace. And I'm not gonna say why I'm crying, but I'm crying. Okay, so essentially, my guy's an orphan, and people hated him because of his parents. Everywhere he went, he never told him told people who his parents were, but everybody hated his parents. So when he did tell people that he was like, I guess, these people's son, they would hate him as well. And for the longest time in life, he felt like no one wanted him. He was an orphan, and he grew up essentially in the slums. He had to be adopted like twice by Luffy's grandpa, and then adopted by this grandma auntie that looked after Luffy and Ace, who adopted them. And he found like two friends who became his found family and his two brothers. And he had a very, very rough childhood growing up. He would get into a lot of fights. He would always want to be the strongest and to rely on himself because no one would be there for him. He just felt unwanted his entire life. However, when Luffy came into his life as his little brother, who was quite useless, didn't really know how to do anything, he originally hated him. But, you know, he grew to love him, he grew to care for him, and he wanted to be a big brother that Luffy could be proud of. He started to learn manners from, I guess, people in the village. He went around begging them to teach him how to have good manners, how to speak properly. He begged them to teach him how to use table manners, how to greet people properly, and he honed his skills, and he went out and he became the second in command of essentially the strongest pirate in the world. He became the second in command at just the young age of 20. And he is someone that is extremely caring and extremely self-sacrificial, mainly because he has no care for his own life. And so when you see him, right, interact, whenever he would meet Luffy's friends, he would always be like, oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for taking care of my little brother. I'm so sorry for all the trouble he's caused. My name is Ace. It is a pleasure. And he's so like polite and he's so kind. Would introduce, like, he would take care of your family, your parents, as if they were his own. He would take care of your family as if it was his own. He would do the cooking. He would do the cleaning. He would do the laundry. Dude, I bet he would even put on an apron for you and be your baby girl. Like, literally, he can do it all. And like, he's confident in his own masculinity. He's confident, I guess, in his own like identity. Not in his self-worth, but just, you know, in his identity as Luffy's brother, as in a member of, you know, the Whitebeard pirates. And he's such like a good big bro. And honestly, like, I have nothing bad to say about this man, like, except for the fact he's suicidal. Which is not his fault, but a red flag, because it is extremely concerning. He has no, I guess, value on his life. Like, he doesn't care about his life. He always feels like he's trying to be enough, and And for the longest time, he felt like, he shouldn't be alive. He's someone that should not be alive. But, he essentially found purpose in his life later on. So I don't even think it's a red flag. I genuinely don't even think it's a red flag. Hence why Portuguese D Ace is our first ass! Our first ass! Nana sounds like she's in love. No, because he is perfect. He is perfect. Too much pride? No, he is not a proud man. Like every time Luffy made a mistake, he would grovel on the floor and say, please forgive my little brother. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, can you imagine that? Like people would badmouth his brother and he would be like, you can't say that. But when people badmouth him, he's like, it's fine, whatever. He is a humble man. And he is always like, thank you so much for taking care of my little brother. I wish I could be there to look after him, but I can't. And I really, really appreciate you guys. Like, he is not proud. He is not a proud man. Like, he is perfect. A good warrior, but not a good husbando. Oh, good question. Would he actually be a good husband though? I think he would, right? I do think he would have a little bit of like issues communicating, but I don't think he's as difficult to communicate with as Diluc. He's not as difficult to communicate to as Diluc or Aizawa, because he's a really honest man, okay? He might have trouble expressing his feelings, but he never lies. He's always honest. He is always, always, always honest, and he will say what he truly feels if you make him feel safe enough. That is what I genuinely believe, and that is what has been shown. When he tells people about how much he cares for his brother, or when Luffy says, I'm gonna come bust you out of jail, and he's like, no, this genuinely could hurt you, you could die. And he communicates what all his fears are, So I feel like he is somebody that would be down to openly communicate if you make him feel safe enough. Diluc Ace, Nana likes fire, huh? It's so kana. I didn't realize that they have like the same traits. I guess. So yeah, I do think he would be a good husband. Seeing especially how humble and caring he is as a big brother, he's gonna be a good father. Because he's sacrificial, right? I think the problem with Diluc and Aizawa, which doesn't make them an S, is that they're not willing to compromise some parts of themselves. AKA their pride or their hatred, or not hatred, but like their anger or their fears sometimes consume these two characters, right? Whereas I feel like anger and fear would still be very strong and prevalent in Ace, but I don't think it would fully consume him. I feel like he would be down to talk about it, Yeah. So I do think Ace actually would be an incredible husband. Yes. Chat, be like Ace. As I'm talking about all these characters, take notes! This honestly sounds like Shadow. Dude, I've never gotten into like Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, so I don't know any of the characters. Like I never got into the Sonic franchise, so I genuinely don't know. I haven't watched Naruto yet. Is Kakashi a good teacher or not? Like I guess. I guess. Yes. Anyways, on to the next character. Jajan! Guren! 知ってるのかな? This character, chat. I wonder if you know him. Chat, I wonder if you know him. So this is Guren. And he's a general. He's from the anime Owari no Seraph of the End. And he is the general of a resistance army that is fighting against vampires who are trying to take over the world. And he is one of the strongest characters in the entire show. So you can't help but, admire his skill, admire his hard work. He's also ridiculously charming, very funny, and unserious most of the time. But he can be serious when it calls for it, like when he slicks back his hair. Oh yeah, very beautiful. And he's a very good general, very good leader, and very smart, So he's very admirable as well. However, I do think he would also probably cheat on me. Simply because he also is kind of like Kakashi. He lives life on the edge. He doesn't really care about consequences. Yeah. Well, specifically consequences that regard his own actions. If it's other people, he would probably be down. Also, he's low-key in love with his sword, which has a ghost in it. So that's a bit weird. Like, the ghost is of a pretty lady in his sword, and he's low-key in love with her, and he's dying, so... a little bit weird that, you know, he has a crush on the ghost in his sword. So I don't think he would be a really good husband or a father. I think similarly to Yami, he would be very absent and he wouldn't be able to provide. However, unlike Yami, I feel like Guren would want to provide. I feel like he would want to provide, but there are just too many reasons for him to not to, you know? Like all his duties, all his responsibilities, and just the idea of, you know, like being a free person, not being tied down. I feel like that suits him a lot. So I feel like he would want to provide, but he would just, you know, talk about all these excuses of like, you know, I just can't, right? So with that, C tier. His dying to the relationship has an end date. Red flag, two-faced. Yeah, he's kind of two-faced, isn't he? He is very sacrificial. He is, especially for his team and stuff too, you know? He literally is sacrificing his life for the world because the ghost in his sword is low-key like killing him slowly. So he is sacrificing his life for the sake of world peace. Like, so he is sacrificial. He is an honorable man, but I don't think he is a man who would sacrifice his job for children or for his wife. I don't think he would sacrifice world peace, his job, and the freedoms of being, I guess, a man in position of power for, like, I don't know, his kid or his wife, you know? Yeah. Daからね, like, he's not as bad as Yami or Sasuke. He is genuinely very caring, and he is genuinely, like, you know, a compassionate, empathetic person. But I just feel like a lot of his circumstances and the way he reacts and copes to things would not make him a good husband. Let me drink some of my milk coffee. So yummy. Also, chat, I'm drinking this milk coffee, but they use skimmed milk powder and whole milk powder, so thank God it isn't actual milk, or else I would have been running to the toilet by now. It's milk powder, so don't worry, chat, I won't die today. My people I care about in order. 1, my mom. 2, my baba. 3, my significant other if I had one. そうだね. Actually, for me, it would be a different order. For me, actually. I feel like for me, it depends on what stage I'm with my significant other. If I just started dating them, my family would be more important. But if I already married them and we're thinking of, you know, being our own family unit, then my significant other would be more important. Do you see what I mean? It depends on what stage of the relationship I'm at with my significant other. Like, if I just known him for 2 weeks, no, my family's more important. But if we're already married, and if we're already, you know, like, or at least thinking about marriage, then I guess SO would be more important. Yeah! Oh, so yummy. I love milk coffee. はい、次。Daichi Sawamura from Haikyuu. Okay. So I used to have a crush on Daichi, I guess when I was watching Haikyuu, because I was like, damn, he's a very responsible person. And he's somebody who is very, like, caring And he is joked about being the dad in the fandom. Like the fandom calls him the dad of the team. And in a way, he kind of is. He is a figurehead, he is a leader, and he is responsible but also empathetic. So he already has some very good qualities. In terms of red flags, I don't know. Does he have any red flags? Does he have any red flags? For Daichi, I feel like, I guess he can have a lot of self-doubt. A very anxious person. I also feel like he's the type to be overprotective. Especially of his wife and kids. Like to be really overprotective of his wife and kids. Like if his daughter was like, Dad, can I date this guy? He would be like, no, honey, you cannot. And then like a few weeks later, after like the daughter starts crying to him, he'll be like, okay, fine, but daddy loves you, you know? Yeah. I feel like he doesn't have any significant red flags that stand out to me because I feel like he's a very honest and round, holistic person. Yeah. Baba always comes before essay for me because they care about you when no one else does. Daichi's perfect. Oh, そうかもしれない. Oh, I know about Haikyuu is like Kuroo is my competition for a certain someone. You have a crush? Oh my gosh. Fleur-san, you have a crush. I'm too protective of women, I've been told so. Oh. I guess like being overprotective can be a red flag, right? Because it can end a relationship when you're not valuing someone's autonomy and choices. I feel like for Daichi though, I don't feel like it would be out of malicious or selfish. I don't feel like it would be malicious. I don't feel like his protectiveness would be something that is actually like malicious and inherently selfish. I feel like his protectiveness is kind of like people can harm them, and I'm really scared of if people harm the people that I care for and love. Yeah, and but he is wise. Like he doesn't overprotect Hinata, and he trusts them. Yeah, I agree. Like he knows his boundaries and he knows when to have flexibility in situations. Yeah. So I think Daichi, he genuinely does not have any significant red flags. He is just an honest, good boy. That's all I say. That's all I can say. He's very serious and very hardworking. And he's hilarious sometimes, like unintentionally hilarious. Like he would make the funniest faces. He would make the funniest faces. So I feel like, you know what? He is someone, who gives everything his 110%. And with no significant red flags, I can confidently say we have our second ass! Let's go! Parties! Requirements to be my girlfriend. Be a girl. Optional? Optional! I'm crying. I mean, you know what? I don't judge who you date or who your preferences are. And you know what? There's many slay, men, non-binary folks, and other like LGBTQ folks in the Galaxy gang. So slay. Daichi is perfect. He is already a dad, so he will be a good dad. So he is somebody that would look after your kid for you. He would probably even like nurse the kid, right? I can even see him as a single dad. Like that's how good of a dad he is. I can literally even see him as a single dad. Like he is that good. Anyways, on to the next character. Itaki Otoya! Okay, I feel like a lot of you guys won't know who he is because he stars in an anime that is like made for women. But this is Itaki Otoya. He's an idol. And he comes from the anime Uta no Prince Sama. And I had a huge crush on him when I was like, how old? I don't remember. But definitely when I was younger. I don't remember how old I was, but I had a huge crush on him at one point in my life. When did Uta no Prince Summer come out? I don't remember. Anyways, so Itoki Otoya-kun, he is your generic sunshine, good-hearted, pure, innocent boy. No trauma, no dark past, no criminal record, no self-hatred, no suicidal tendencies. He's just a good boy. He's just a good boy. And I feel like he's a little bit of a brat. He's a little bit of a baby that needs to be spoiled, you know? He's just genuinely such a good boyo, you know? If I were to say about any significant red flags about him, it's probably like, I always have a creeping suspicious feeling that anybody who is really pure and innocent and nice has a high chance to be a yandere. It's just because anime has traumatized me too many times, and I would like to think that he is not, but I don't know, man. I feel like he would probably be a really, really good dad. I feel like he would be very considerate of his daughter and wife. I feel like he's somebody, because he's so innocent, he wouldn't know a single thing about pregnancy. He wouldn't know how to be a dad. He wouldn't even know how to take care of kids. But I feel like he's willing to learn. He's got the right attitude, you know. I feel like he's someone that's willing to. Utapri came out in July 2021. Oh, 嘘だろう。Nana, I just got back from exams. Justin, welcome back. How was your exams? Yes, his mom died. Oh, well, true. That is a bit of trauma. So oh my god, it makes sense. Oh my god, it makes sense. Yeah, my boy has mommy issues. My boy has mommy issues. So I feel like he also can be a bit clingy and a bit insecure. Actually, we've seen him canonically be insecure. We've seen him canonically be like jealous and insecure and like scared. Again, they're not red flags. They're not the end of a relationship because they're very normal things and they're very like normal trauma reactions, right? So I can't blame him for it, right? I just think he's a very good, sweet little angel who needs to be protected. But because of that, he can also be unreliable, right? Like when you need him to be like emotionally mature for you, sometimes like he might not show up, if you know what I mean. Like say you're in an argument, right? And you're like, why can't you see things from my side? And then he's like, well, why can't you see things from my side, you know? Yeah, like I don't think he has conflict resolution skills. I'm sorry, this is very specific, but I do not think this boy has conflict resolution skills. And that is a very, very important part of, you know, being a husband. See, the thing for Daichi is he resolves conflict every single day, okay? In his volleyball team, he has to solve conflict every single day. He resolves conflict all the time. He's got conflict resolution skills. Ace, he has conflict resolution skills. It might not be as good as Daichi's, but as, you know, second in command, he's a captain, he's also a leader, he knows how to solve up quarrels, and as a husband, I feel like he will also be able to, you know, put aside his agenda and to come down to your level and to ask you what you're feeling. That's why these two are slaves. Whereas for him, my pure, sweet, innocent baby boy, I do not think he has conflict resolution skills. And that actually I do think would be a red flag. I genuinely do think he's also Christian. Really? Do they mention that in the anime? He needs a protector. I guess. The way I see a person is that if they haven't had a major challenge or trauma in life, they're normally narcissistic or unempathetic. That is at least from my experience though. No, you do make a point. So, Prem, scientifically, I forgot what the word for it is. I need to find it. I need to find the bloody video. I need to find the video. So this video I watched explained that like essentially a lot of people, I can't bloody find it. Anyways, so a lot of people go through trauma. Everybody goes through a form of traumatic experience in their life. However, the skills that we have in our lives that were given to us and taught to us from school, from our society, from our parents, is what helps us process this trauma and grow from it. So I think it was like traumatic growth or something. I forgot the specific word for it, but it was like traumatic growth, right? And that is the case for most normal human beings. However, when an individual does not have the skills or the support or the ability to process this trauma, nor to overcome it and to move on with their lives, and they keep being stuck in that moment, that's when it becomes post-traumatic stress disorder. わかる? So it's like everybody goes through traumatic experiences in their life, right? It could be, getting into a car accident. It could be, getting into a fight, getting fired from your job, getting abused at workplaces, or, experiencing some form of cyberbullying. But most normal people are able to grow and to process that trauma. わかる? The people who are really narcissistic, like they might have gone through some trauma too. I know some narcissistic people who have gone through incredibly traumatic things, but they don't have the ability to process it. And they processed it in a way that becomes toxic. Yes. Yes. Good night, Justix. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. Post-traumatic growth. Yes! Thank you. I was gonna say post-traumatic growth, but I was like, that's probably the wrong word. No, it was right. I remembered the video correctly. Thank you, KF. Thank you. Yes. So most normal people experience post-traumatic growth. Well, everybody does. I've experienced it. You've experienced it. And yeah, but when you're unable to process it or unable to move on, that's when it becomes PTSD. Yes. But yeah, for Otoya-kun, I feel like he probably has some form of PTSD with his mom dying. And that's why I feel like, say when it comes to his partner, or when it comes to, I guess, arguments and stuff, I feel like he would absolutely break down. He would not be able to handle conflict well. And I don't even think he would be able to stand up for himself very well, right? Which is like, not on, right? You need to stand up for yourself because, you also got to teach your kids how to stand up for themselves, right? Also because of the fact that he's like a student and an idol, he doesn't get into conflicts as much as like a pirate ship leader or like a volleyball team captain, So because of that, I would put him as a B. Yeah. I feel like for me now, I would mostly see him as a little brother. I don't think I have like a huge crush. I don't think I have a huge crush on Otoya-kun anymore. I think he is someone that is very charming and very handsome and very sweet. But I do think he has a lot of learning and a lot of growing to do as a person. Yeah. I think most people have trauma, but most traumas are not as bad as death and crazy anime stuff. Yeah, because anime's anime. It's not real. Yes. Miyamura, yes! Felicita-san, konana! His dad kicked him out when she died. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Traumatic. Kami-sama hajimemashite yo. Culture. Yes, culture. But yeah, Viper, I didn't know you were such a big Utapri fan. Oh my gosh. But yeah, poor baby. He has a lot of growing and learning to do as a person. Hi, Tsugi! I feel like a lot of you guys already know who this is, but this is Kuroo Tetsuro from Haikyuu. He is also a volleyball captain, and he is the captain of what the frick was their school called again? Yes. So here's the team captain of Nekoma High, right? And he has some qualities like Daichi. He's a good leader. He's a quick thinker. He's an empath. He cares a lot. But unlike Daichi, who's very serious and very hard work, well, very serious and uptight, he's very smug, cracks all the jokes and stuff, which is not bad. It's not bad. But something I find hilarious about this character, chat, I need to share this with you, chat. I have to share this with you. So something I find hilarious about this character is that the fandom, I don't know why, they make this character out to be the sexiest man alive, when in reality, he's not. And I don't mean that as an insult, but the fandom has portrayed him as basically a hoe. They portrayed him to be somebody who is a playboy, a man whore, and the sexiest creature on this God-given earth. He is just the epitome of smags. And in reality, he's not. In reality, he probably studies computer science for fun. He's a big gamer, he's a big nerd. In his free time, he just games with his friends. He likes science and math. So he's definitely more of a logical thinker, whereas Daichi is much more of an emotional person, right? And let me see. Does he have any significant red flags? I love Kuroo. Yes, Nekoma! My competition, so he's lame because he's not me. What? What do you mean? Do you have a crush that is in love with Kuroo? Huh? Kuroo is S2? Wait, really? I'm trying to think of any significant red flags he has. My sister and I never hear the end of knowledge. Huh? Teach me more about him so I may study him to learn. そうだね. Wait, Gucci, can you think of any red flags for Kuroo? In the fandom, right? The fandom thinks he is the sexiest man known to humanity on Earth. He has abs sculpted by Apollo, a body marbled, and they just think he's the most charming, sexy playboy ever, right? When in reality, he's not though. Canonically, he's just a smug gamer who just makes fun of people sometimes, Which is nothing wrong with that, but for me as well, I genuinely don't think he would be that great of a husband though. Okay? I know some people are calling him an S, but hear me out. For me, I know he's caring, I know he's kind, I know he's someone that maybe puts on a funny face to try and make people laugh and stuff. But again, similarly to Otoya-kun, I don't feel like this guy has the best conflict resolution skills when it comes to his own problems. When it comes to solving other people's problems, that's a slay. He can fix other people's problems. But when you call him out for, say, being selfish or being inconsiderate of other people's needs, I don't feel like he would take to it too well. I do feel like this guy has quite a bit of pride. I do feel like this guy, isn't the best at communication. When it comes to himself, his own issues. With his team, right? The whole motto of the team of Nekoma is communication. We're like blood running through the veins. We have to communicate. We have to be as one. But I feel like for his own personal life, I feel like that might be a little bit different. You see what I mean? He could be a good gaslighter. That's what I'm saying. Daichi has more resounding green flag. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he could be two-faced. I feel like he could be very much two-faced. He reminds me of Guren. Okay, Guren and Kuroo give me this similar energy, except Kuroo's just the lamer, younger version, And my favorite idol's number one husband is Kuroo. I have no actual opinion on him. そうなんだ. As a person that's big into science and mathematical thinking, I have a hard time seeing the emotional side of things. Could that be the case for him too? I absolutely agree. Prem, I absolutely agree. I feel like when it comes to his own issues, he could be quite dismissive. Do you see that, chat? You know, like usually he's like a smug gamer who plays volleyball with his friends as team captain. You know, he would be quite proud of that, which is good. Well, like, you know, something to be proud of. But I feel like for his own issues, he could be quite dismissive, right? I feel like he would stonewall. He might, you know, say, I'm not going to have this conversation, right? If you start a fight with him, it's like, you know, like, listen, babe, I really don't want to have this conversation right now. And just leaves, right? I don't think Kuroo is someone who is comfortable in awkward situations about his own issues, right? So say his wife goes like, hey, Kuroo, I really wanted to talk about just like, you know, your recent behavior. I feel like I have to do so much. I have to look after the kids. I have to do all the chores. And when you come home from work, you're asking me to do so many things. I just feel like you could do it by them yourself, right? Because quite frankly, you're being very selfish. You're being very childish. You're being very immature, right? And you're being very inconsiderate. So if you said that to him, I don't think he would take it very well. And I feel like he'll be quite dismissive and potentially gaslight you. Like, you know, no, like I took out the trash the other day. You don't remember? Well, I did. And it's like, well, I work so hard. I'm so tired. Why don't you think about me, you know? And I don't think it would be intentional. I don't think it would be out of malice. I think it would be completely unintentional. Like he doesn't even realize he's guilt tripping you, right? And because of that, I would put him as a B. If you try to vent to Kuroo, instead of comforting you, he'll hit you with solutions like, yeah, why just don't do this then? Yeah, I completely agree. Gucci, you are so correct. Gucci, you are so correct. If you talk to Kuroo like, hey, Kuroo, hey, hubby, you know, this friend of mine keeps coming to me and like taking advantage of me, just always asking me for 3 things. And I want to cut her off, but I don't want to at the same time because I've known them for so long, right? So it's a very sensitive topic. And I feel like he would just be like, oh, well, that's stupid. You should just cut them off. That's stupid, right? And I feel like he'll be very insensitive and dismissive, right? But you're like, but no, like I've known them for like 20 years. Our parents are friends. I can't just cut them off. They're going to our wedding, right? And he's just like, well, if they're taking advantage of you, just don't invite them to our wedding, right? And then you'll be like, no, it's not that simple, Kuroo, right? And I feel like, you know, he would be very like, you know, dismissive of, I guess, your perspective and not try to understand you at the same level. Wakaru? Yeah. I always too try to find solutions and solutions and things too. So da ne. Prem, being dismissive is not the best idea. I would recommend against it. I don't know, that sounds like assumptions to me. He seems pretty nice to me. I guess, but you know, this is just a discussion, right? This is just a discussion, you know? It's just a subjective opinion from my range. He's very nice to Kenma. True. He is very nice to Kenma. But then again, you're always nice to your friends, right? We treat the people closest to us the worst. Like, there was a scientific research behind this going like, the reason why we treat the people closest to us the worst, aka our family and stuff, is because for our friendships, they can leave our life anytime. Friends can leave our life anytime. So oftentimes, for example, at home, you never ever clean up. But at school, if the teacher is like, everybody clean up, or you go to your friend's house, you always help them clean up after you finished a meal, but you never do that at home. It's like, why do we do that? What, huh? Like, why do we do that? Well, it's because friends can leave us anytime. So as disgusting and twisted as it sounds, we put in a little bit more effort in to try keep that friendship, to try keep them with us. But it's really horrible, but for family, we take that for granted a lot of the times, right? And we take that like, we expect it. We expect that because we're related by blood, because we're married, like, you know, they're not going anywhere, it's fine, right? So that was the science behind it. That was the science behind it. Yeah. That we oftentimes hurt the people closest to us without realizing that as well. That we just take them for granted. But with friendships, we try a little harder because we want to keep our mates close. So why is he nice to Kenma? Well, it's because he wants to keep him close and wants to continue being friends with him. It's the same for me with my family and Emi-chan, right? I love Emi-chan and Hewon-chan, and I definitely do treat them a little bit nicer than my own siblings sometimes, because I'm just like, right? Because I take them for granted a lot of the time, right? Yeah. I'm like, right? Whereas for Emi-chan, I'll be like, Emi-chan, no, I'll help you clean up the dishes. Imasugu, you know? So I feel like that's the case with Kuroo treating Kenma. Like, you cannot say, oh, he treats his friends well, yeah? Like, of course, we have to treat our friends well, otherwise we'd have no friends. But the way we treat our family is definitely different, and the way we treat our family says a lot about you as a person. So when people say to me like, oh, but he treats his mates well, that doesn't really mean much to me, because everybody wants to treat their mates well, everybody wants to be popular and liked, you know? Yeah. Yeah. There's an enlightening discussion of the human experience. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. No, same. It's good to have solutions and know what to do, but that shouldn't be like the first thing you say. Yeah, so I think offering solutions is good, but only if somebody asks for it, okay, chat? Don't offer solutions if they didn't ask for it. And I think something that's really good to practice is to be like, hey, do you want me to comfort you now, or do you want to hear solutions? Because majority of the time, your girlfriends will not want to hear solutions. Majority of the time, your girlfriend just wants to complain, and they just want you to listen and for you to be like, oh my gosh, so true. What? That's crazy. You know, most of the time, they just want to hear that. If you offer solutions, right, it kind of feels like to them that like, well, I feel kind of upset right now. I would like for you to comfort me. I am clearly looking quite sad. So could you like, I don't know, give me a smooch, give me a hug, instead of going like, just do this. I don't want to do it. I should do it, but I don't want to. I just want to hug and a smooch. You know? Yeah. Yeah. If people treat their friends badly and gets away with it, yeah, concern 100%. 100%. Homer's where you treat friends like family and family like friends. Huh? I don't understand that. Anyways, we are almost done with our tier list. Next is Miyamura-kun! Miyamura-kun from Horimiya. So Horimiya is a very sweet shoujo anime about, I guess, two people falling in love. So the main character girl, she is popular, she is smart, she is athletic, she is liked by everyone, she always wants to be helpful to people. Whereas for Miyamura-kun, he has low self-confidence. He used to be like a huge loner. He used to be called ugly. He used to be called, weeb. He used to be called otaku. He used to be a huge like introvert. And the only reason why Hori, the main girl, started paying attention to him was because he started looking after her little brother, and she found out more about his personality. So his personality is someone that is very sweet, very honest, and very, very caring, very self-sacrificial, and very much, how do I put this? Also pure, innocent baby who wants to prioritize other people's well-being before his own. And I already know he's going to be a good male wife because he bakes, he cooks, his family runs a bakery. So he knows how to bake, he knows how to cook, he knows how to babysit. He babysits Hori's little brother really, really well. He's really good with kids, and he would care about your family as if it was his own. Does he have any significant red flags? Does he have any significant red flags? I'll probably just chill and like, no worries, Leslie. No worries. Thank you for coming by. Selfless. Yeah, he's selfless. Yes. That's the word. Thank you, Gucci. I guess he's like really, really anxious because he used to be extremely depressed, which is like not his fault, right? It's not his fault. It's because he was bullied, right? So he has a little bit of childhood trauma that like he just recently got over because of his girlfriend. It's essentially that like in middle school, because everybody hated him for being a loner, which is not his fault. Everybody hated him for being a loner. And so during the holidays, it was one of the boys' duties to feed the rabbits during the holidays so they don't die. And so the boy, he didn't feed the rabbits, but he blamed it on Miyamura when they all died. So everybody hated him, and he got like really traumatized because of that, and he got really depressed and really sad. He was like, no one likes me. And at one point he got a little bit suicidal as well. But, you know, now his mental health is a sleigh. He has a loving girlfriend and stuff. The only thing I don't like about him was that he proposed way too quickly. He dated Hori for like a year and a half, and he proposed. Like, I feel like he is a very emotional person who cares deeply, but often sometimes doesn't think through decisions fully because they are led by his heart, right? Again, someone who, if you got into a conflict with him, he would be humble, he would say sorry, he would try to be better. But because he's so selfless and often led by his heart, I don't think he considers the full consequences of how things would impact him and the people around him. You know? He grew a lot by the end of the series. He did. I think Hori has more red flags. I agree. Yeah, the only thing I just don't like about him was the fact that he proposed really quickly. Yeah. But apart from that, like, I don't think he has any significant red flags. Though I do think that, like, I don't know, he is a bit naive. He is a little bit silly. Like, a little bit dumb sometimes. Like, a little bit unaware. A little bit low in EQ. Again, not a horrible thing, but it can be detrimental. For example, there was a scene where Hori got jealous because this girl was hanging around him all the time, and he didn't bother to clarify it. He didn't pick up that she was jealous. He didn't clarify it. Well, it was because Hori was being annoying and being mean about it, but he is a bit of an airhead sometimes. Again, not a horrible thing. I'm an airhead too, but I don't think it's just like, you know, people liking him. I think it's also like my guy is just unaware of how his actions can have consequences, you know? Yeah. Goofy! Dance, yeah. I guess dance, yeah. A year and a half isn't quick. 6 months is quick. Well, I feel like a year and a half for me is quick, right? Especially because they started dating when they were 15. Now they're like 17, 18, and he's like, let's get married. You know? Right. But maybe that's just my subjective opinion, because I would definitely not marry someone after 1.5 years of dating. Yeah, I feel like, you know, to be the perfect husband, you have to have an awareness of how your consequences will impact other people, right? So we know he's good with kids. We know he cooks and cleans. We know he's a slay. But, something I can foresee is probably like Miyamura-kun, like, I don't know, taking the kids out to like the beach, right? And he's like, you know, super prepared, wants to make sure the kids have a good time, but I think, you know, he's like, oh, you know, what about let's do this thing to make mom happy, right? You know, let's go into the deep waters and collect some pretty seashells, right? I feel like he's the type of person who would not consider these things through, because he's just, you know, like jumping over a fence like tamago, you know? And so it's a little bit dangerous. a little bit dangerous. So I don't think he's horrible. So I would put him at an A tier. He's definitely better than Kuroo, Kakashi, or Itoki-kun. So I would put him as an A. But that was a difficult one. Yes. Yeah, a lot of these things are Hori's fault. She has a lot more red flags than he does. Truly. Yeah. A year and a half is not quick. Much less by today's standards. Really? I feel like a year and a half is quick. Maybe that's just because my sense of time passes weird. I don't know. Anyways. Oh, I gotta turn the light on. Aizawa! Kamito-san, こんなな。よし、次のキャラはTomoe from Kami-sama Hajimemashite! Okay. Undoubtedly, hands down, one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite anime. Kami-sama Hajimemashite. If you guys haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it now. I recommend you watch Kami-sama Hajimemashite now. It is such a good anime. Oh my golly goodness. It is such a good anime. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the story follows a girl who essentially gets like evicted from a house. Her dad runs away. She isn't dead. She's really sad and depressed. But you know, a land god offers her a home and says, you can have this home if you become the land god instead. And she develops a contract with this fox spirit called Tomoe. And over the course of time, she develops feelings for Tomoe because he's very responsible and he's very caring. Although his words are harsh, his actions are caring, and you know, he's someone with a great sense of duty, responsibility, and empathy, right? He ends up, you know, caring a lot for Nanami and her well-being as well, and very handsome man. So, you know, she ends up catching feelings. And he does have quite a few red flags though. Like number one, how he used to be a mass murderer in his younger days. Like, granted, he did spare women and children. He wasn't as bad as his, like, you know, rival or partner, but he was a mass murderer. Number two, he also does have a lot of trauma because of that, and a lot of, like, literal dark energy in him because of that. Number three, he is a bit mean with his words sometimes. Like, he says some really mean things with his words sometimes. Not that he means it, but it's just because he's too bloody embarrassed to admit it, right? Like, he's not honest with himself. The entire show, he's not honest with himself. He finds it very difficult to love a human, and he finds it very difficult to be honest with himself. So that is not good, right? He already has 4 red flags. So he does have a lot. No worries. Good night, Pam. Gotta get my sleep schedule back on track for school next week. No worries. Good night. Good night, Pam. Where's Nana? Yes. I'll wait about 3 or 4 years or even 5 years to propose. Honestly, same. Like, okay, so Tomoe is an ikemen, yes. Pesci-san, konana! Hello, I'm new. I also like your top music cover. Thank you so much, Kabito-san! I hope you enjoy your stay at the Galaxy Gang. We are rating anime husbandos today. I gotta go to bed as well. I have to drive for 12 plus hours, starting in a few hours. Good night, everyone. Good night, Gareth. Good night. Thank you so much for dropping by. And oh my goodness. Good luck with your drive tomorrow. And drive safely, yeah? Konana, san-san! Good konana! For Tomoe, I would say he's a B tier. B tier husbando for sure. I thought the list would be longer. It is quite long. I just talk a lot because I never shut up. Anyways. Tomoe, he's a B tier husband. Because he is caring, he is kind, he would make a good husband, but he wouldn't make a good father. His unwavering loyalty is only for his loved wife. He would treat his kids like little runts, and he would probably bully them a little bit. Like, he would care about them, but like, kind of in the mean, teasing way, you know? And Tomoe does cook, he does clean, both very well at that too. However, his personality is very like quick to anger, a lot of pride, not very honest with himself, you know? And we can't have that. Relationships are all about compromising these aspects of yourself, especially your pride. Especially if he were to have an argument with his kid, even if he knows he's wrong, he's not going to admit it. He's going to sulk about it. He's going to be angry at the fact that he argued with his kid, and he's going to be angry at himself for being mean to his kid. And he's going to like sheepishly come apologize, you know, with like a bowl of fruit, like an Asian dad. So I don't think he would be a good husband. Like he would care for his wife and everything, despite being a bit mean. But you know, I don't think he would be a good dad. No, I don't think he would. Like, sure, he would have the patience to sit down, like, you know, teach his kid and stuff. But he would also be mean about it sometimes, like in a teasing way. And he'd be like, damn, you can't even learn this, stupid kid, you know? Which is not okay. How do you know he cooks? Have you tasted his food before? No, it's shown in the anime. It's shown. Yes. So yeah, I feel like, you know, his way of speaking is very like hurtful sometimes, you know? Yeah. Like this one time, Nanami, his like love interest, comes back from the toilet and they have to share a room at their friend's like house. They have to share a room, and she comes back from the toilet and she accidentally like sleeps in his bed. And she's like, what? Oh, sorry. And she goes back to her bed half asleep. But when she got into his bed, Tomoe low-key almost like, I don't know, gave her like a hickey or something on her neck. And like he was like on her, right? Which is like no consent as well. Not a slay. Like no consent. Like she was half asleep. Why are you out here trying to give her a hickey on her neck when she's half asleep, bro? She doesn't even know what's happening, right? She didn't consent to this. And so next morning, she's like, hey, Tomoe, I had a dream last night. I don't know if it was real, but you embraced me in your arms and it was really sweet. And he literally, the audacity of this man, he was like, huh, why would I do that? You don't even, oh, sorry. I didn't think it was you. I was dreaming about the prostitute at the tea house. And I was dreaming about her boobs because she actually has some boobs to fondle, unlike you. Like, that was so uncalled for. That was so out of pocket. Like, why the frick would you say that? And Nanami is just like, oh, okay, I guess, right? And he's just there like, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. But it's because he can't be honest with himself. And he says the most mean, uncalled for things. Like, what? Like, undoubtedly, he has grown a lot by the end of the series. Like, by the end of the series, he becomes honest. He becomes loving and kind and gentle. But he has a lot of unlearning to do. You know? He's not honest. He wasn't honest. He was lying. He wasn't lying. He was lying. He wasn't being honest. Right? He just genuinely likes her and wants to, like, I don't know, have sexy times with her, but he can't say it because he has too much pride in being a fox spirit, dumbass, you know? And he says the most mean things for no reason. Anyways, that's Tomoe, B tier husband for sure. Anyways, so on to the next one. I'm very excited, ladies and gentlemen. I am very, 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 very excited for the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you my favorite anime husband of all freaking time, TM, my most favoritist anime husband of all freaking time. From the anime, Akatsuki no Yona, Yona of the Dawn, I present to you Haku! No one compares, you stand alone to every record I own. There is no one. Oh my gosh, he is perfect. And now I have not said this about any other character, but he is perfect. The most mentally stable character, despite being a general of war. Despite being a personal bodyguard for a runaway princess who's been exiled for a kingdom, he is so mentally stable. No, S. He is so mentally stable, and he is so confident in his own skills and is so genuinely empathetic. Coffee! Oh my gosh, hi! Oh my gosh, hi! Coffee, welcome! S plus, I would give him SSS. Yona's super dense. I know. Like, I'm a dense person too, but Yona is dense as. My guy is a walking green flag. My guy, like, is a walking green flag. Like, sure. Like, he's had some hard difficulties in his life. He's had some hard difficulties in his life. However, he has processed all of his trauma. All of his trauma has been post-traumatic growth. Like, how rare is that? And not only is he post-traumatic growth, unlike Ace, who is suicidal, unlike Daichi, who is serious all the time, he is funny. He has a sense of humor. Do you know how important a sense of humor is? He is literally so funny. And he's so capable. And ridiculously good at fighting. And funny. And mentally stable. Like, do you know how rare is that? He is a walking green flag. Oh my goodness. Like, I would introduce him to everybody I know. I would introduce him to my family, my friends. Honestly, my family would love him. My friends would love him. Everybody would love him. He has the qualification to back it up. He literally is like the top fighter of the palace. He's literally the bodyguard for the princess. He has the potential to become like general or to even be a king if he marries Yona. Like, he is that qualified, that good. I have nothing but praises for this man. Self-sacrificial, willing to compromise, willing to talk it out. Sounds like you just explained Tanaka. Tanaka? Okay, listen. Tanaka he has some growing to do, okay? He has some growing and some learning to do, okay? He's still a kid. He's still a little bit immature, okay? Tanaka from Haikyuu, I don't know. I would put him at a B tier, okay? C or B tier. But Huck, he is mature and he is serious when he needs to be. Excellent at conflict resolution. Okay, Yona, she is like a spoiled little brat, okay? Okay, she's not spoiled, but she is a little brat sometimes. And she's super dense and she's super stubborn, right? Huck has to be so willing to be compromised. Like, he has to be so willing to compromise his feelings, his agenda all the time for the princess. He is in love with the princess and he had so many chances to take advantage of her, but he did not. Unlike Tomoe, who kisses Nanami in her sleep, tries to give her a hickey when she's asleep, he had so many chances to do that. He had so many chances to take advantage of her while she was asleep or whatever. He did not. And he would not. Is it because he's bold, isn't he? No, it's because Tanaka, he I don't know, my guy cannot control his emotions sometimes. I do think he is a really, really good boy, okay? I do think Tanaka is a really good boy. However, I also do think that Tanaka would probably also be a little bit like Otoya, you know? I feel like he's a baby girl, you know? Baby girl that needs to be protected, you know? I don't think he is at the level of maturity yet where he can confidently handle conflict, you know, and confidently, like, you know, shelve his agenda while patiently listening to other people, you know? Like, he also gets into fights a lot, you know? Which is probably not the most mature thing. But yes, I'm suing you. Why is he not in a tier alone above everyone else? It's because I don't have any other tiers. But Huck, My guy is the perfect example of shelving your agenda, okay? This is a term I learned from cinema therapy because I love watching cinema therapy. But what is shelving your agenda? Gentlemen in chat, I want you to open your ears for this one. Shelving your agenda looks like where you have a lot to say to your partner. Maybe your partner is being unreasonable, but they have needs that need to be met at the moment. You have a lot of things you want to say. You have a lot of things you want to do, but you decide to shelve your agenda and you decide to say, I'm here. What do you need? Right? And Huck is the perfect example of that. Yona is selfish. Sometimes she could be more understanding of other people's needs, right? Yona is young, she is selfish, she is a little bit immature, but Huck never gets angry at her for that, or he never like reprimands and said, what about my needs? Which is what I feel like Otoya might do, right? He might get sad and be like, I feel like you've been like ignoring my needs, you know? He never says, you know, like, oh my God, you never listen to me, Yona. But he's always like, you know, I'm here. What do you need? What can I do for you to help you? Right? No matter how badly he wants to say, I love you. Can you please notice me? Can you stop cock blocking me, right? No matter how much he wants to say that, no matter how much he wants to do that, he does it. And he says, I'm here for you. What do you need? Right? Perfect man. Perfect man. Honestly. Oh my gosh. Another tear. Just click the gear and bam. Oh? Add row above. So true. How do I... It's him. Hakuna! Thank you for teaching me how to do that. Hakuna! I shelved my agenda too much with my ex and eventually made me depressed. Oh, the thing is, Steven. You can shelve your agenda in the moment, right? But you must always unshelve your agenda later when they're like, you know, stable. So what cinema therapy is like, so cinema therapy is like a therapist and a cinema director reviewing movie characters together. And it's really, really good. But you always have to unshelve your agenda later. So say in the moment, your wife is being really cranky and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm really stressed out right now and I really need someone to like do all the chores for me because I have a deadline that I really have to like do, right? And say your wife is really stressed out, she really needs to do this thing and she needs you to do all these tasks for her. And you wanted to talk to your wife about how you've been feeling emotionally neglected, how you feel like your wife has been prioritizing your work over her. However, in that moment, you see your wife is stressed out and needs your help. If you bring up your needs, she'll get more stressed. And she'll get more sad and more angry. So you say, okay, honey, I'll help you do all the chores. I'm here for you. That makes her feel better. But after she submitted her work, her deadline, whatever, you sit down after doing all the chores and you're like, hi, honey, can I unshelve my agenda now? Because I really need to help. I really need to talk to you about something that's been on my mind recently. And so your wife is like, yeah, sure, honey, what's up? And then you unshelve your agenda, because you got to wait for them to be ready for it, right? And the therapist guy at the cinema therapy, he was saying how like, he's the traditional wife in the relationship. His wife is always solving problems, fixing things, giving solutions. He's the emotional one that you would go to for a hug and a talk, right? So he has trouble unshelving his agenda. He has trouble talking about his own needs, which his wife is really good at bringing up. His wife is really good at going like, honey, how about you unshelve your agenda now? I know you want to talk to me about something. Can you tell me what's been on your mind? And then he unshelves his agenda, right? So in the moment of crisis, right, where talking about your needs and your demands, when it only makes things worse, that's when it needs to be shelved. But when you're in a safe space where there is no chaos, no fighting, no emergencies, that's when it's good to you know, talk about it. Shelving a situation should be balanced between both parties. Absolutely true. Both parties need to compromise, you know? I shelved my agenda for my ex and I was ended up getting cheated on. No! I'll fight your ex, Gucci. The audacity. The audacity to cheat on a little sunshine meow meow baby angel. I'll fight them. It made me depressed. I'll fight them, Steven. I'll fight your ex for you. How dare they? Well, maybe your ex didn't realize as well, but I'll fight them anyways. There's a time and place to discuss things. Yes, of course. Don't be selfishly immature. Yeah. See, the thing with Tanaka is, I don't think Tanaka is very good at shoving his agenda. In fact, I think his honesty sometimes comes to a fault, like brutal honesty, you know? He'd be like, but honey, I've been feeling really emotionally. I've been feeling really neglected too. You haven't been talking to me for the past week and I just miss you, honey. Right? And then say, I'm his wife. And I'm like, God, I feel horrible now. And I have a deadline. And my husband's crying. You know? So I feel like Tanaka wouldn't be very good at that. Say I would have a deadline, I need to rush, I have all these chores I wouldn't be able to do, and I asked Tanaka to do this, and I'm just like, oh, please, Tanaka, please stop crying, you're stressing me out, right? And then he's just like, but I feel sad too, which is like, you know, a cause of conflict, right? And in that situation, I would have to be the one to shelve my agenda, to calm down, to reason with him, and to say, honey, I'm very sorry for neglecting you. I promise I'll make it up to you when this deadline's over. But I would really appreciate it if the chores could be done. It doesn't have to be now, but maybe later, right? So I would have to be the one to do it, you know? Which is why I don't think Tanaka would be the best husband. Still a good one, nonetheless, still a good one. But not, you know, Huck. He's not Huck. Yeah, you know, my day was ruined, but seeing you live made my day again. Nah, thank you, Viper, thank you. Never knew Tanaka was such a clown. Not like, see, he can be dependable and manly when he needs to be. But yeah, he's the best bro, not best husband. Best bro, not best husband. Yeah, it'd be like, honey, I miss you, you know? Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. We're almost done. Grateful Buster, absolute C. I would even argue D. I would actually even argue D. So Grateful Buster, the reason why I liked him as a kid was the same reason why I liked Sasuke, because he was cool, he was handsome, had nice abs. Would be a horrible husband. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's from the anime Fairy Tail, and he's one of the, like, protagonists, I guess. Nuts is way better than Grey. I agree. I just liked him because he looked cool, which is, looking back on now, not a wise decision. Please don't do that. But, you know, red flag number one, goes around as an exhibitionist, never wears clothes despite the uncomfort of other people. Literally, my guy walks around with his pee-pee out in front of all these men and women, as if that doesn't bother people. セクハラじゃないですか？それマジでセクハラなんですけど。Right? So he walks around with his entire schlong out, and it's not a slay. He has underwear on a lot, but sometimes he just throws the entire thing off. Number two is that I don't appreciate the fact that he low-key takes advantage of Juvia. He knows Juvia likes him. He doesn't turn her down and he doesn't reciprocate it. And sometimes he just asks her to do favors knowing she likes him, which is weird. Skanky-san, what's your opinion on Laxus? Laxus? He gets a redemption, but I don't think it's enough just yet for him to be husband material. Thanksgiving... Thanksgiving dinner was good, but I woke up from a nightmare, so yeah, it's 1 a.m. Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that you had a nightmare. Oh my goodness. Yoshi. 怖くない. Don't worry, it's not real. It's okay. I'm real. Your nightmare's not real, Banana's real. Lucy or Urza? Urza 100%. Absolutely. Urza's my queen. Sorry. Anyways. So Grey Fullbuster would not be a good husband. He's quite selfish. He's quite proud. I don't think he's willing to compromise, and I don't think he's somebody who's willing to put down his ego or willing to show up his agenda. I feel like his personality style is avoidant detachment, specifically because his teacher abandoned him when he was younger. And I feel like he's very detached from the world and very detached from a lot of his guild members and friends and such as well. He is quite reckless with his life. Who is the guy in the SSSS plus tier? His name is Huck from Akatsuki no Yona. If you haven't watched the anime, watch it now. I love Huck very much. He is the perfect man. Anyways, so Grateful Buster he's kind of like the combination of Yami and Sasuke together. So I'm sorry, C tier. Sorry, not abandoned, sorry, died, yes. But essentially he was left in the world by himself. She did die. And so I feel like he does have he has an avoidant attachment style. Yeah, very detached. And when he sees conflict or when he sees problems, he's like, mendoksa. I'ma just leave. What is this woman talking about, you know? I feel like if Juvia did, I think she gets together with him. I don't remember. But if he did have a wife and his wife is like, why are you never listening to me? I tell you not to come home late and you say you will, but you never listen to me. And he's just like, bruh, I'm trying. Damn, this woman is so annoying. What the frick? The chances of him cheating on me is also very high. Yeah, I get that he mellows out a bit when he gets together with Juvia, but man, I feel like as soon as, problems arise, he would be like, bro, I'm out. This is so annoying, you know? Yeah. What's your fairy tale OTP, Nana? Urza and Jalal? Absolutely. Urza and Jalal are the only people I'm rooting for in this entire show. First time watching live and just wanted to say I love the Senpon Sakura cover. Sekizawa-san, konana! Thank you so much. I'm really glad you enjoyed the cover. Aizawa. I could tell you some things about Sonic if you don't mind, that is. I've never seen Sonic before, but I guess, sure. Yes. Alright, on to the fourth last character. Sebastian! Absolutely C. Would be the most horrible husband. Okay, honestly, I liked him as well because it was sexy. That is it. He would be the worst husband in this entire tier list. Would kill you. The second he sleeps with you and seduces you, he would have you dead. He would sacrifice you to the devil. He is the worst husband. And sure, I can fix him. Like, sure, what if you're special? What if you're not like the other girls, right? He would still be a horrible husband. He is literally Satan. He would be a horrible husband. He would spend his time murdering people and listening to his boss all of the time. I don't think he would prioritize you or his kids. His kids would barely know his face, barely know his name. He would not exist in your life or the kids' life. He would just care about you, not care about the kids. Even then, I feel like he would be a yandere as well. If anybody tried to hit on you, if you went out with your friends or guy friends, he would kill all of them. It's just the worst. Sebastian Michaelis from Black Butler is sexy, but the worst husband. True. Didn't the girl Sebastian slept with die? Yeah. He would sleep with you and he would absolutely just kill you. Even if you were special, not like the other girls, and he'd say he had an obsessive infatuation with you, it would not be healthy. And he would probably kill you if you tried to cheat on him. Or even if you just hung out with friends, he would probably try to kill you then. Because he's like, if no one can have you, then you die. If I can't have you, no one can have you, kind of beat. And it would just kill you. Yeah. Yeah, so, horrible choice. Next is Aomine Daichi from Kuroko no Basket. Let me tell you the grip this man had on me for so many years. Oh my gosh, I had a crush on Aomine Daichi for so long. Because, I don't know, man. It's just something really sexy about the way he's just so confident, bro. Because, he does have a bit of an Ore-sama complex. I get it. He does have quite a bit of red flags. He's so insanely narcissistic. He is so narcissistic to the point where if people beat him, he literally has a mental breakdown. Red flag number 1, has a mental breakdown if people beat him and his Ore-sama complex. Red flag number 2, also insanely possessive. Probably to the point where it's like low-key suffocating. Red flag number 3, anger issues. Unable to communicate. Yeah. Red flag number 3, low-key harasses girls about their boob sizes. So looking back on my crush from when I was younger, yeah, probably not the healthiest decision. Probably not the healthiest decision. Yes. The green flags though, I think as a boyfriend, he would try better himself, right? I do think he would try better himself, and he would be awkward and clumsy about it. He'll be like, oh shoot, oh sorry, oh shoot, stop crying. No, sorry, I didn't mean that. I just don't like seeing you cry. I feel bad. My heart hurts when I see you cry, you know? And then you're just like, stupid. And he's just like, I'm sorry. Do you want me to buy you some food, some boba? Do you want a hug? You know, he would be really awkward and clumsy about it, right? And I think he would mellow out. He would become a better person because of his partner. It doesn't change the fact that I think he still has anger issues and an inferiority complex that is extreme. So say if you outperform him at work, your pay is higher, I don't know, your job is better, he might feel a little bit inferior. Say if he becomes a professional basketball player and he loses another match, he might take that out on me. Yeah. And so, yeah. Why is Diluc A tier? Diluc is guaranteed triple S stoic husbando. No, listen, I would have put him there because I love him so much. But let's be honest. He is really bad at communicating. He has a lot of anger issues. He doesn't forgive people very easily. If you messed up once, he might hold that against you. If one time, like, right, you hung out with your guy friends and like they accidentally like, I don't know, do something sus, right? He might hold that against you and make it into your fault, and he might gaslight you. Like, let's be real, let's be honest. It's because of his extreme fear of abandonment and his extreme insecurities. As much as I love this man, he does have a lot of red flags, you know? Nana revealing her Aomine fantasy with him being a tsundere. Don't expose me like this, okay? The grip this man had on me for so many years. Oh my gosh. He's angry, but he'll be very loving to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he would mellow out, right? You know, so I would put him as a B tier, right? Undoubtedly, the chances of him cheating on me is still quite high. Okay, he likes big boobs and he cannot lie. Okay, I feel like the chances of him cheating on me is still very, very high. But it really depends on how his character develops, because, you know, he's literally like a babu when he's young, right? So yeah. Anyways, as a husband though, I feel like he would treat his wife well, but he might not do the chores, not do laundry, not do dishes, leave his stinky socks around, leave his underwear around. I also don't think he would put in proactive effort once he is comfortable. Now, this is a really hard concept to explain, but it's a sad reality. It's similar to the science of what I said earlier of how we're nicer to our friends because we can lose them. I feel like he's nice to his girlfriend because he knows that he can lose her. And because he knows that there are better options out there. And this is gonna sound really disgusting, but I feel like the second he gets comfortable and he's married to his wife, I feel like he's gonna start being a little bit like taking advantage of the fact that, you know, they're married. and it's gonna become a little bit lazier, a little bit like, unwilling to change. Probably like blame it on old age, go like, I'm just old now, I don't want to do all these things. But no, if you wanted to, you would, right? I feel like he's the type of person who's like, like, honey, can you please listen to me and not leave your dirty socks around? It really bothers me that I have to do so much to compromise for you. And he would be like, oh, sorry, thanks so much. But he never like does anything to change. Yeah. Regan, konana. Speaking of Japanese cars, you know what they go really well with? Oh yeah. Slap stickers, yes. I love how Nyanya's doing a whole essay for each character. Absolutely. Yes, fear of betrayal. Yeah. That's why I feel like Diluc cannot be an S. He's not mentally stable enough, Anyways, on to the second last character. Sinbad! From the absolute hit anime Magic of the Labyrinth. Labyrinth of Magic. This man is Sinbad. He is a king. He is a womanizer. A playboy. But so stupidly sexy. Very charming. Very much a ladies' man. Very much a seducer, a swooner, a charmer, charismatic leader of the people. Very much a buff, stupid man. He's not stupid, he's very smart. He's literally the smartest man in the entire country. He literally is an entrepreneur that built up his legacy from nothing. Extremely strong fighter, but I think he would go C. He would absolutely cheat on me. He would totally cheat on you. Absolutely right. That guy has a freaking harem. I know. Don't sim him. I know, Tommy, but he's just so sexy. Oh, I forgot to put on this list, but I also really like Hakuryu from Machi. Hakuryu-kun, the prince. The emotionally traumatized prince. Yeah, I like Hakuryu as well. But for Sinbad, man, he is absolutely gonna cheat on me. He would cheat on me in front of my face. But the reason why I say he's not as bad as Gray or Sebastian or Sasuke or Yami is because I feel like he would ask beforehand, right? I feel like I would marry him knowing that he's gonna cheat on me, still get sad about it, but do nothing about it because I can't, right? I feel like he wouldn't enter into a relationship with you purposely for the intent of hurting you. He's not malicious like that. He's not malicious. And I don't see him as a misogynist either. And I don't see him as somebody that's dismissive of people's feelings either. If he genuinely hurt you, he would feel bad about it, right? Say like he thought you were fine with polygamy and turns out you weren't. Then he would immediately back off and he would immediately say, sorry, I didn't mean to, but sorry, that's just the way I live. If you're uncomfortable with polygamy, then I'm sorry, I don't think we can be together, right? I think, yeah, so like if you weren't jealous and you were willing to be a part of his harem, you would love it. You would live, laugh, love, right? He would be a great husband if you were okay with polygamy and just like him not being around at all. But in conventional terms of, if he's gonna be able to look after a household, look after children, impart life lessons onto children, he would not do that. Like, I'm sure, like, so, okay, say you're not like the other girls. You make him change his ways, he stopped polygamy, he suddenly becomes monogamous, he suddenly wants to devote his entire life to you. I feel like he still wouldn't be able to, even if he wanted to. I feel like he wouldn't be able to be emotionally and physically present Because he's a king, because he's a fighter, because he has so many responsibilities to attend to, even if he wanted to be present and even if he wanted to be a slave, I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. Which is kind of upsetting. What about the Fate series, husbandos? I haven't watched the Fate series enough. Yeah. Gojo best husbando? Oh, I don't know about that one, bestie. Yeah, damn, the amount of polyamorous people I've seen bullying their monogamous partners into poly relationships is staggering. Really? That's really sad, yeah. But yeah, for Sinbad, I would put him in the same tier as Guren. You know, I just don't think he's it. He is not it. And finally, on to the last anime husbando for today. Makoto Tachibana! Makoto, my beloved. Okay, so I was originally gonna put Haruka Nanase from Free, but when I thought more about it, I was like, no, I want to talk more about Makoto. I want to talk more about Tachibana Makoto-kun because he is just so good. He is so good. Okay, for Makoto, he is very similar to Otoya-kun from Uta no Prince-sama. He's gentle, he's kind, he's selfless, he's a ray of sunshine, he's positive, he's hopeful, he's hardworking. He's kind of like Otoya and Daichi mixed together. He is also, a member of a sports team. He is very hardworking and passionate about his sports. He is also a hard worker, studies very hard. He also is a big brother. So he's used to looking after children and to, looking after their needs above his own. But similarly to Otoya-kun, I don't think he's very good at conflict resolution. The main difference between Otoya-kun and Makoto-kun is that Otoya-kun has mommy issues. Tachibana-kun doesn't. Tachibana-kun has more self-worth, like he knows his self-worth more. But he hates conflict. He's a gentle giant. The best way I can describe this man is a gentle giant. I don't think he has any resounding red flags apart from the fact I don't think he is able to handle conflict well just because he loves you too much. Right? Just because he always wants to be selfless. He always wants to be there for you, right? I don't think he would be like Otoya-kun and cry and be like, but what about me? Instead, I feel like Tachibana-kun would also cry, but just be like, I'm so sorry, Just keep apologizing that he isn't enough. Going like, I'm so sorry, I wish I could help you more. Oh, please don't cry, baby, I'm sad too now, Kind of like, he's just so selfless. I don't think there's a single selfish bone in this man's entire existence. But I still don't think he is S just yet. He's damn close. He's so damn close. I'm very much struggling. Because Makoto-kun is very, very good. He cooks, he cleans, he's a big brother. He studies well, he's athletic, he's handsome, he's kind. He is so good. He is so good. Yeah. I think the one thing that's separating him from being an S is that he doesn't know how to stand up for himself. Right? Which is not slay. Like, I can't blame him. I cannot blame this angel. But that's the only separating thing from an S and an A. See, I feel like Ace and Daichi would at least try stand up for themselves and explain, like, hey, I understand you're mad, babes, but you're really hurting my feelings right now. Right? Whereas Makoto-kun would just be really, really hurt, and he would be like, you know what? I understand. I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry, I couldn't be of more help. Right? I feel like he would just... So there's fight, flight, freeze. I think he would very much freeze and then flight. Because he just genuinely doesn't know what to do because the poor baby's overwhelmed. Right? He just wants to do more, but he can't. And so I feel like he might mellow out in a relationship, and, learn to have more confidence and courage, and bounce off his spouse, and turn out being a really good husbando. But as of the way he is now, I don't think he's someone that would be able to, I guess like stand up for himself, but also to be disciplined, especially when it comes to his children. So Makoto is overly selfless because his parents are busy all the time. He always has to put his needs aside for his little siblings. And luckily his little siblings, they aren't naughty, they aren't bad kids. That's why he doesn't have to like discipline them a lot. But say like Makoto had a son who is really depressed and skipping school. I don't think he'll know how to deal with that. I don't think Makoto would know how to deal with that. Which is not a bad thing, right? Because it's normal, no one knows how to deal with that. But I do think that is what is separating him from an S and an A, is his EQ and like conflict resolution abilities. Yeah. So. I wanna check something out for me? Huh? What? Vetra! Welcome, Vetra. Welcome to me, showing off to chat all my favorite anime husbands and why I love all of them, even if some of them are low-key problematic and I don't love them anymore. Overly selfless might be a bad father. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like Makoto is the type of person to work himself to the bone for the family. Jeopardize his health, jeopardize his own feelings, and just be like, it's no worries, baby. I just want you to know I care for you, We're just like, no! You gotta think about yourself too, babes. Yeah. He might need some self-preservation. Exactly. See, Huck would know his boundaries. Huck is perfect. See, if I stepped out of line and I was being a selfish brat, right? Or if I was being really mean to my kids and I was being too strict, going like, oh my gosh, you kids never listen to what I say, Huck would step in and Huck would say, honey, I think that is enough. And he would take the kids and he would say something funny to make them laugh. He is that perfect. He is that good. Afterwards, he would probably also comfort me, probably take me on a date, do something nice for me, all the while saying, I think what you did was wrong. And I don't want you to do this because it is wrong. Like, he would tell me to change and lecture me if I did something bad, all the while prioritizing his kids' mental health. Like, he is just that good. He's just that perfect. I can't. None of an Asian parent mode. Yeah, I'm saying, Huck, I sense taste. Yes! See, like if I all of a sudden became a toxic Asian parent, he would call me out and he would do it lovingly. He would be like, honey, I know both you and I care for our kids very, very much. However, the tone of voice and the way you spoke to them and the way you talked to them hurt their feelings a lot more than the way you showed love, right? And he would communicate it so well. And he would give me a hug afterwards and a smooch, right? And he would encourage me and praise me every single time I did the right thing. He's perfect! Right. Oh my gosh. And he would take the kids out, make them do something fun, and make silly faces and make them forget about it. And he would, twirl them around and be like, you are daddy's pride and joy. I love you so much. Don't worry about your mom. She's just having a bad day. She doesn't mean it. She actually loves you guys, and I love you too. And I hope you never forget that. He would be so honest too. Unlike all of these characters, he would be so honest and mentally stable. He would be like, sometimes I have bad days, your mom have bad days, and sometimes we say things we don't mean and we hurt people. But I just want you to know that your mom and dad will always, always, always love you. So please don't ever forget that. Like, this man is perfect. Oh my gosh. No, for real. Do you live with anyone? Do people you share your house with even wonder what the fuck you're talking about? Yes, so I live with my siblings, and yes, they do. They do wonder all the time about what I'm talking about. Not already fantasizing an entire lifetime with husbando day. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh. Going to sleep because I got class in the morning. Oh yes, Nana, have a good rest of the stream, homie. Yes, thank you so much, Gucci, for staying by the entire stream as well and giving your very important input on Kuroo Tetsuro. It was greatly appreciated. I wish you have the sexiest and the best of smeebs, and good luck with your class tomorrow, Rockstar. You got this, superstar. Good luck, Gucci. Oh yes, Nana. There's Nana-ne-san going on again. Yeah, basically. Are you getting a waifu version? Maybe. But I feel like a lot of the anime girls that I like, they have a lot more red flags. Won't your wife get grumpy because of this? Which one? I have like 600. I don't think they get upset. I think they'll understand. Yeah. It's just anime men. I'm sure they have anime men they like too. Yeah. But yes, Hawk is perfect to all men wanting to become a better version of themselves. Please watch Akatsuki no Yona and be like Haku. Learn to shelve your agenda, but also know how to call people out in a gentle, loving way. Be like Haku 2022. What about Rin from Free? Absolutely not. With his anger issues? Absolutely not. The fictional animes though, exactly. My wives won't mind. They have their own anime husbands too. But yes. I missed so many as well. There are so many other ones I like. But you know what? For today, I will only share these 18 wonderful gentlemen. I love all of them very, very much. I shall. Wait, but I want to screenshot this. Because this is the truth. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But yeah, I'll post this screenshot later on Twitter as well. But yes, this is the ultimate husbandos tier list. I wanted to read this manga for a long time, but maybe I will thanks to you. Yes, please. Okay. Felicita, please watch the anime as well as the manga. Why I beg of you to watch the anime? Because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. They use like a blend of like Japanese and Chinese instruments. And their singing reminds me of like Mongolian throat singing. And the songs are just beautiful. The openings, the endings, the art style, the anime is just beautiful. It brings the manga to life. Chat, please watch Akatsuki no Yona and Kami-sama Hajimemashite. If you take anything away from this, please watch Kami-sama Hajimemashite and Akatsuki no Yona. Thank you. Did you see them perform in Sydney? No, I didn't. I had to watch it on Disney Plus with my friend. Yeah. Nagisa? Absolutely not. But anyways, I'm really hungry now. I want to go have dinner. But that was all for today's Anime Husbando tier list. Thank you so much for coming, guys. By the way, I would really like to see you guys do your own husbando tier list or anime waifu tier list. And yeah, maybe, chat. Maybe I'll do a stream where I review your tier lists. How does that sound? So you make your waifu tier lists or your husbando tier lists and you send them to me on Discord and I'll review them on stream. How does that sound? That sounds like a good idea. I think it sounds like a good idea. I'll judge your anime. I'll judge your anime waifu preferences. From that, I just got here. Too bad, too sad, you got it too late. Nah, just kidding. I love you, Vedja. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Yeah, have a nice dinner, Nana. I will. Yo, let's go. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Okay. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Yes. I'll add Nana on it. No! I'm gonna be a bottom tier character. No! I'm gonna be a bottom tier character. I just know it. No! Spare me from your tier list, please. Wait, you know what? If you put me on your tier list, please just put me at the bottom tier where I belong. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to this stream. 今日も配信来てくれてありがとうございました。今日もおつなも I'm so hungry, I wanna go eat. そしてまたなもあばら
人